Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, which is about decoding SEO, and where I'm going to talk about how to do keyword research, SEO implementation tactics, and how to rank on Google. All right. Now, before getting started, let me give you a quick intro about myself. My name is Suranjana, and I've been into digital marketing industry for quite some time now, but SEO has always been an uncharted territory for me because my expertise mostly lies in Google Ads, analytics, search engine marketing, Facebook, and content marketing. However, I've started learning about SEO of late, and earlier I used to know SEO on a very superficial level, and the knowledge that I had was very limited. But as and when I'm trying to deep dive the concept, I've realized that it can be really tricky and confusing for a lot of people when it comes to actual implementation. And that is a lot more than meets the eye. All right. So the reason why I chose this topic is because I've seen many people struggling with the concept of SEO. More importantly, how to implement it in real-time scenarios and generate results out of it. For example, when your clients say, give me organic traffic or organic leads within a specific time frame, you don't know how to commit to that, or you're not sure whether you're really be able to pull that off or not. So most people will be like, SEO is a long-term thing and it will take time. But exactly how much time it will take to get results, if you don't know that, then the reliability factor that you show to your clients becomes a lot less. So, to know how much time it will exactly take before you start seeing the result and all that, and many more such quick, useful tips and tricks about SEO, just stick around for the next 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm going to simplify the definition of SEO and whole of SEO in this webinar for you. All right. Now, let's just go to this mind map, which I've prepared for you guys. Okay, can you see the mind map, guys? Oh, you cannot see the mind map. Just 1 second. Okay, everybody can see, right? Okay, all right. So, all right. So, first things first, there are two things that we need to understand. Number one, the meaning, and number two, the process. Now, if I have to explain SEO to a layman, I would be like, let's say you are visiting Bangalore for the first time, and you are visiting MG Road for the first time. Now, it is around 6 o'clock in the evening, and you're hungry, and you wanted to step into a restaurant or a cafe to satiate your hunger, basically. Now, you don't know which is a good restaurant in MG Road. So what you do is you go to Google and you type in good cafes around, or good North Indian, or best Chinese restaurants in MG Road. Now, there are 50 plus such cafes or restaurants you'll find in MG Road. But on the first page of Google, there are only 8 cafes. And your eyes are probably stuck at those 3 cafes, which are coming on the first top 3 results, right? So SEO is nothing but getting your website on the first page of Google. And why the first page of Google is important? Because one of the cafes you see in the top 3 results get maximum traffic of the customers as compared to the other ones on that page. Make sense? Now, SEO is also about getting your website not only on the first page of Google, but for relevant keywords also. Now, when people type in specific keywords, you want your website to rank on the first page. In this case, the example that I just gave you, the keyword is cafes in MG Road. So when people are typing in cafes in MG Road or best cafes in MG Road, your website is ranking on first page. At least you want your website to rank on the first page without you to having to pay any money. And how much time will it take? It will take 3 months to 6 months. All right. Now, I'll give you examples shortly after this in which scenario it will take 3 months and which scenario it will take 6 months. So basically that is the meaning of SEO. Now, once you have understood the meaning of SEO, it's time to process it. Okay. Now, how will you do that? Number one is keyword research, and number two is the SEO itself. Now, what is keyword research? You need to first figure out for which keywords you want your website to rank for. Now, when you're doing keyword research, there are two things that you need to consider. One is types of keywords, and the second one is how to choose keywords. Now, there are three types of keywords. Namely, one is short tail, medium tail, and the third one is long tail. Short tails are nothing but 1 or 2 words. Medium tails are 3 to 4 words. And long tail keywords are those keywords which are more than 4 words. For example, digital marketing is a short tail keyword. Digital marketing agency is a medium tail keyword. Digital marketing agency in Bangalore is a long tail keyword. All right. Now, usually what people think is, let's start with short tail keywords because that's going to generate a lot of traffic. The traffic is going to be really high. But that's not the case. However, it is highly recommended either to start with medium tail or long tail keywords because this is going to give you quality traffic and more targeted traffic to your website. And once you rank for medium tail and long tail keywords, ranking for the short tail becomes much easier in the long run. All right. Now, there are two more things that need to be considered. One is search volume, the other one is search difficulty. Now, let's say I've decided to rank my website for the keyword digital marketing agency in Bangalore. But before deciding that, I need to understand how many people search for this keyword on Google every month. If very less people are searching for that keyword, then there is no point ranking for the particular keyword, right? Now, so you guys need to figure out that what is the search volume of that keyword. Now, there are multiple tools, a ton of tools you'll find on Google that you can use to find that. For example, you can go to Uber Suggest and check for the keyword digital marketing agency in Bangalore. So for example, let us just quickly go to Uber Suggest. My screen is still visible to you guys, right? Okay. All right. So this is Neil Patel's tool. And if we type here digital marketing agency in Bangalore and switch this to, say, India, and then hit search, you'll get to see a detailed report. And it's taking time. Okay, that is something not probably correct because just a while ago I have seen this keyword. It is giving a lot more search volume. I'm not sure why it's happening right now like this. Let me hit search once again. Or let me just refresh. Just bear with me one moment. So digital marketing agency in Bangalore. And if I put India and search, and let us just wait for this to load. So as you can see, This particular keyword, digital marketing agency in Bangalore, has got search volume 4,000 plus. And also you can see the second option, which is called SEO difficulty. All right. Now, just understand that the higher the search volume, the better is, it is for your keyword. All right. So you can still see my screen, right? All right. So just yeah. So just keep confirming that whether the screen is available or not, because since I'm doing it on phone, and so it's becoming a lot more difficult than doing it on a computer or laptop. So moving on. Okay. So as you can see, there is something called golden keywords also here. So what are the golden keywords? These are basically those keywords whose current search volume may be less, but you are assuming that in the future, a lot of people will be searching for this keyword. One classic example I can give you is, say, cryptocurrency. So say you have written a blog on cryptocurrency back in the year 2011, 2012, around that time. And that time the search volume was very much less. But then in 2018, you've seen that the search volume has drastically increased because many people are talking about it. Many people are interested in knowing about it, searching for it on Google. So hence the reason the search volume has increased drastically. So you are predicting here that the search volume for certain keywords that can be increased in the future. However, the current search volume I would recommend to be between 300 and 500. If at least 500 people are searching for the keyword every month, then it makes sense to work on that keyword. Now, along with the search volume, you also need to figure out what is the search difficulty. If the search difficulty is between 0 to 30, then it will take 3 months for your website to rank. All right. So the example that we just saw right now in Ubersuggest, digital marketing agency in Bangalore, the search difficulty was 18 over there, right? If you remember. So since it's between 0 to 30, we can say that it will take around 3 months for the website to rank for that keyword. Now, if the search difficulty is between 30 to 60, then 6 months of effort will be required. And if it's between 60 to 80, 12 months of effort. And if it's like 80 plus, then I highly recommend not to touch this keyword. What is the reason behind it? I'll just tell you, because it is nothing but the current websites which are ranking. So for example, there is a keyword for which Amazon is ranking, Flipkart is also ranking. That means you have a direct competition to Amazon and Flipkart. So it makes no sense to, sort of compete with already with the reputed brands that have, has so much of brand awareness and so much of reach for that matter. So it doesn't make any sense to, compete with these reputed brands right away. Since these are the reputed brands, hence the reason the search difficulty is so much higher. For beginners, I would probably recommend you either go for 3 months or 6 months. So this also makes sense and becomes important, especially when your clients ask for a time commitment, the one that I was mentioning before, right in the beginning of the video. Now, once you've figured out what are the keywords that you want your website to rank for, let's say you've figured out 3 to 4 keywords, then you start with the SEO. Now, there are 3 kinds of SEO processes. One is on-page SEO, second one is off-page SEO, and the third one is technical SEO. So what is on-page SEO? This is nothing but something to do on your website. Off-page SEO is nothing but something to do outside your website. And technical SEO is nothing but you have to set up a few technical files. Okay. Now, okay, let me just zoom out a little bit so that I can see properly. So now usually people think that a weightage of on-page SEO is the highest, but on-page SEO carries a weightage of 30%. Off-page SEO carries a weightage of 60%, and technical SEO, so what are we left with? Only 10%. So technical SEO is of 10% weightage. Now, on-page SEO has 20 factors. Say, for example, meta description, the image alternative text. Then you have the title tag, H1, H2, H3, etc., etc., etc. All right. So this is a vast topic in itself. So if you want to know more about it, there has to be a different session altogether because it's a little difficult to cover everything all in this particular webinar. All right. So now off-page SEO under 60% weightage comes with 2 factors. That is, one second, that is backlinks and social signals. Now, I will give you an example of what backlinks are. Let's say there is Mr. A and there is Mr. B. All right. Now, Mr. A has written a blog on what is digital marketing. And Mr. B has also written on the same topic, what is digital marketing. Mr. A has followed all the on-page factors. Mr. B has also scored like 100 on 100 in on-page. However, there is this girl called Suranjana who has written a blog on her website. And in that blog of hers, she has written, if you want to know more about digital marketing, visit Mr. A's blog. Okay. Now she has given a hyperlink, and that hyperlink says that if you want to know more about what is digital marketing, go to Mr. A's blog. Now you guys tell me whose website is going to rank on top of the Google? Is it Mr. A or Mr. B? Yeah, so did you get the question? Like whose website is going to rank on top of Google? Is it Mr. A or Mr. B? Anybody? No, it's not Mr. B, because why I tell you, it's definitely Mr. A. Why? Because Mr. A has got one backlink. And from whom is he getting the backlink from? He's getting the backlink from Suranjana. So basically, he's getting a backlink. So that's why he will rank on top for now. Now, coming back, Mr. B has also gotten a backlink, and this time the backlink is coming from Times of India. So Times of India has also written a blog on the website, and Times of India has written that if you want to know more details about what is digital marketing, visit Mr. B's website. Now, in this case, tell me whose website gets first ranking. Is it Mr. A or Mr. B this time? Correct. Can you tell me why, Bharti? Absolutely. Absolutely. So in this case, both of them have got one backlink. The number of backlink remains the same. However, Mr. B's website is going to rank on top because the reason being that the Times of India is much more reliable source, or if we have to put in other words, a much more powerful website than Suranjana's website, of course. So basically, uh, there are websites which can give you, say, let me just in order to simplify it, there are websites which can give you 1,000 points. There are websites which can give you 10,000 points, and there are websites that can give you 1 lakh points. All right. Now, let's say there is this person who got 10 backlinks from websites worth 1,000 points, and his competitor got just one backlink from the website worth 1 lakh points. Okay, so now take a guess which websites can give you 1 lakh points. Any guesses? If you have any idea, then just come up with it. Anybody? Yes. No, not really. So I'll just tell you. So these are the websites which are ending with .gov, .edu, and .mil, like the government websites, the educational websites, and the MIL websites, which is the military. So now getting a backlink from the military websites is nearly impossible. So let's just not get into that. But the other websites, the government and the edu websites, are the most powerful websites. All right. So these are the 1 lakh points websites. The 10,000 points websites will be Times of India, the other news portals, and the other reputed brands. And the 1,000 points website will be like ours website, like starting with the blog website, the hobby website, like a low revenue company website, something along the lines of that. So now the thing is, if you are getting backlinks from, say, .gov websites, then Google will be like, if the government is recommending you, then who are we to stop you, right? So that is how Google functions. Now, the next important question is, how will you get a backlink from .gov and .edu websites? Well, guys, it's very difficult, but it's not impossible also. You need to have a certain amount of expertise to get there. I'm sure Santosh will agree with me on this. I mean, you need to be able to identify the quick fixes, everything, all the factors have to be in place, and you need to be able to identify, what went wrong where, and quickly, come up with a solution for that. And also, content is very important, so we have to work on the content continuously as well. All right. So the points that I've just mentioned, there is no such pointing system. All right. I just made this pointing system just to make you guys understand. Instead, in digital marketing world, it is known as DA. Right. So, DA is nothing but domain authority. So the domain authority of .gov.edu websites are extremely high, while that of Times of India and other news portals will be a little less as compared to them. And websites worth 1,000 points will become coming under low or medium domain authority. So whatever website you're considering taking backlinks from, you need to check their domain authority. A quick tool I can give you is to check domain authority can be Moz. So you can also look up on Google to, check the other tools also. There are a ton of other tools as well, like the one you can check for the difficulty, the search difficulty that I was talking about earlier. So there is something called spam score also. Spam score threshold is 6%. That means these websites shouldn't be having too much spamming contents. There has to be relevance. For example, if Times of India is giving you a backlink, which context it is giving for, the toy article has to have a relevance to that backlink as well. All right. And along with that, you also need to figure out how many backlinks you require. Because it's not that you keep building backlinks for your entire life till you die. No, it doesn't work like that. All right. So there are two types of backlinks here. All right. One is follow and one is no follow. Now, this is a little technical. I want you guys to bear with me just for another 5 minutes. I'll try and simplify this as well. Now, let's say, again, Mr. A and Mr. B, right? So Mr. A is getting backlink from Suranjana. Now, Suranjana has also got its own personal domain authority. Let's say Suranjana's domain authority is 30. Okay, 30. Now, when Suranjana is giving backlink to Mr. A, her domain authority is getting reduced to 29. Now, as and when Suranjana keeps giving backlink to others, her domain authority will keep reducing. All right. But nobody wants their websites with less domain authority, right? So that is not a good thing. That is not something, that is something uncalled for. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants their domain authorities for their websites to come down. However, Suranjana wants to give backlink to Mr. A because Mr. A's content is of very high quality. But at the same time, I don't want to lose out on my domain authority. So that time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Mr. A no follow backlink. All right. So usually people think no follow backlinks mean if you click on those links, it will not get redirected. Nothing like that. On the contrary, it is very much similar to a hyperlink. When people click on the link, it will get redirected, but your domain authority will not get transferred. It is not getting transferred to other person's website whose website you have recommended in your article. If the domain authority gets transferred, it's called follow backlinks. Yeah, you guys are all clear up till here? Perfect. Okay. So basically, all you have to make sure that your website has high domain authority by getting more follow backlinks and less no follow backlinks, etc., etc. Okay. So this is it pretty much. All right. So I'm going to come back to this one. So before wrapping it up, let me give you a quick rundown all of it again so that you can just have a quick snapshot of it. So firstly, you have to do keyword research, which is this, and then keep all of these things in mind. All right. Once you are done with this, you can simply close this and then go for the SEO processing. So on this SEO processing, first you need to do is the on-page SEO, then off-page SEO, and then the technical SEO. All right. So on page, what you need to do is, whatever things that need to be done on your website, 30% weightage, and got like 20 factors that you need to work on. And then comes to off-page SEO, which is outside your website, backlinks, and social signals. Now, social signals are nothing but basically, what is the engagement quotient in various social media accounts of yours. However, this carries a lot lesser weightage, but at the same time, it's also important, so we can't really ignore this. So that's pretty much it, guys. This is what the SEO is and how it functions. I hope you found this, valuable or some sort of useful in some way or the other. I really appreciate you to spend your time with me on this Sunday siesta. Okay. Any questions? If you have, then we can quickly go through it. Or any. So the technical SEO is nothing, but you have to basically set up some technical files. Like I said, it carries a lot lesser weightage as compared to the two. So this is a little technical. If you are like tech savvy person, you'll be able to understand it. I mean, that shouldn't be too much challenging for you. Other than that, you don't need to like cudgel your brain or worry too much about the technical SEO. So this is just some technical files that you need to set up for your website. That's all. All right. Anybody else has any question? You want to pay. So the paying thing basically comes when you are doing a paid ads program. For example, the PPC program or the Google Ads thing. So Google AdSense is a completely a paid program, and SEO is a non-paid program, which is what is known as organic search results, where we don't have to pay for it. Okay, so this is basically coming on Google search without us having to pay anything. If you have to pay anything for that matter, for the keywords or anything of that sort, then we can bid on those particular keywords by going setting up the Google Ads campaign or any search engine marketing campaign, and run a campaign for that and bid on specific keywords or specific there are many other factors that we can bid on basically. So this is a different program altogether. This is the organic search result, and which is unpaid. All right. All right. Okay. So I guess I'm going to end this webinar right here. I want to thank you so much for joining me once again, and I'll see you on the other side. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.